What's up, y'all? Welcome to our YouTube channel, Africans Talk Football. Appreciate your guys' continued support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Get started, man.
All right, let's
Welcome
roll.
y'all to another episode of Africans Talk Football. My name is Salam, and I'm joined here by my friends and my co-hosts. Unfortunately, Cornelius is out tonight, so I have the responsibility of introducing everybody and facilitating the show. We'll start with Mike. Mike, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Except for Ryan Day. Somebody tell Ryan Day to watch his back, man. Ohio State taking an L to Michigan again, But other than that, life's good, man. I can't complain.
All right. What is up? What up, G?
What's going on, man? I feel good, bro. Just happy to be back with the boys. Everybody, happy Thanksgiving to the boys I didn't speak to, but feel good. Arsenal's doing good. Vibes are high over here, man. Solo, how you feeling?
Like Ryan J, make sure you get your application in with Jobs and Family Services. Franklin County Jobs and Family Services, my man, you gotta get you gotta be ready for the but and my team losing, so c'est la vie.
What about you, Kerry? How you doing, bro?
I feel good, man. Thanks for having me as always. And to Ryan Day, you're about to lose your job.
For sure.
You're about to lose your job.
I didn't even want to bring it up, bro. That's how it happened. So
yeah.
No, it's tough. Definitely for us in Ohio, it's tough. Ohio State lost to Michigan for is it fourth year in a row?
Yeah, four in a row.
Bro, we got kids that started out as freshmen that are now about to graduate and I've never seen a win against Michigan. Ryan, pay for your crimes.
I know we do it at the end of the episode, but crash out of the week.
Crash out of the week. For sure.
Get well soon, man. Ohio State Buckeyes. But appreciate everybody for tuning in. Everybody's support. From the start of the season to where we are now. Let's get started, fellas. Before we started, we were actually talking about Real Madrid and just kind of where they are. Obviously, Champions League this past week, they lost to Liverpool. I believe, 2-0? And, plenty of memes were generated from that, Mbappe being at the center of them. So, Kerry, I would like to just start with you. Kind of, I don't know if you were able to watch the game, but kind of what was your takeaways from the game? And just kind of where do you think Real Madrid are right now at the season?
So, I mean, I watched the majority of the game. The biggest thing I would say is the team, like I said last time, they have no balance, man. They're just adding Mbappe to that team kind of threw off a lot of their chemistry. Losing Toni Kroos also kind of like threw that off. They don't have that stable person in the midfield to just keep the ball ticking and moving. I just think really Real Madrid, they might be kind of like at the end of their cycle in the sense of that dominance. So it was a tough watch to kind of like see like a new manager from Liverpool to come and face that team, and they made them look ordinary. Champions League, Real Madrid was a scary team. Nobody wanted to play them. Now it's like, it looks like anybody can just walk in, even in their home field, and get a win. So it's a very, very interesting time for them. I would say Mbappe, he needs to find himself. You know what I mean? Take some time away. Go do some trust falls and some stuff like that. And
he scored today. He scored today.
And kind of figure out what he needs to do as a player to get this team over the hump. I would say Ancelotti, he got a big job ahead of him going forward because he's got some big decisions to make. Some big names are going to be either upset or happy, in terms of the lineup he's played and some of the formations. I would say this controversial comment here. I'm good for them. Paul Pogba is out there right now as a free agent. Go get that man. He will make the game very easy. I think this is the thing. They don't have a
Crazy
deep
shot.
line
I
playing
respect it.
midfielder who can get him the ball, and they do have a certain level of chemistry. They have the legs on their team equivalent to a Conte person in Valverde. So as long as somebody can do the running for Pogba and he's allowed just to spray the ball around, pause, they're going to be able to do a lot of the stuff that and replicate a lot of the success that he had on that France team. And then the
Yeah.
other thing is, I think that interchanging him and Vinny have for that left side of the field, they got to figure that out.
Yeah, no,
Somebody has to
that's not
stay
gonna
in
work.
one spot. It's not going to continue to work. And then the final person I would say is Jude Bellingham. Once again, I'm not the biggest Jude fan. I respect the things that he does, but he himself too creates a certain level of imbalance in that team because he needs the ball in certain spaces. It's just not enough ball to go around for all the players that they have on the team. So it creates a lot of like weird dynamics when they get in the final third. And especially when the game gets tight and the teams get really close. I just feel like Mbappe he doesn't have that ability in those tight spaces or the situation awareness to realize what's going on. Because I mean, Mo Salah picked his pocket and they went straight down the field and scored a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It looks so just basic, footballing things that I feel like he needs to get his awareness up right now. I don't know if his head is not in the game. I don't know if it's the pressure or the weight of the Madrid jersey because that's probably one of the heaviest jerseys to wear in football.
Yeah, yeah.
Because their fans expect you to win Champions League every season. They expect you to win La Liga every season, and they expect
Hmm.
you to win El Clasico every season. So
Yeah.
your every game, is a certain level of pressure on him. So I definitely would say they need to sit down and kind of work it out. I mean, it's still enough time in the season for them to salvage Champions League. I think Barcelona is probably going to run away at La Liga, so they might as well chalk that one up. But yeah, I'm very concerned about that Real Madrid team. They have a lot of players like I like personally as individuals. Like I like Vinny. I love Rodrigo. I'm a big Camavinga fan. I like Chouamini's versatility.
Hmm.
Alba is coming back. So they have a lot of guys that I truly like. But now they're starting to look like the Galacticos back in the day. A bunch of names, and they may not win anything right now. So.
Let me ask you this real quick.
Mhm.
I mean, I like everything he said. I agree with, pretty much everything he said. But with Vinny being out, do you think this might be the perfect window for Mbappe to get situated in this team?
In theory, it should, because now he has a dedicated position that he can play for a string of games. The
Hmm.
question is, if he gets comfortable there when Vinny comes back, does he revert to his old self? That's why I said the manager has a tough decision to make coming up here really soon. Because if you insert him in that spot and he becomes the Mbappe of old, and then
Hmm.
Vinny comes back and you slide him back into that 9 position, and the projection falls, what are you going to do?
Yeah, but this is you said one thing. You said Madrid's at like the end of their line. I don't think that at all. I still think that Madrid will be Madrid for sure. I think La Liga might be chalked up. I don't know if they'll recover from that. From I don't know. I don't think they'll catch up to Barca, but Madrid's not that end of their dominance, bro. I still think this team has plenty of players, plenty of legs. You know,
It's a 1 point difference. I'm a Barca fan in La Liga. It's a 1 point difference.
That's what I was
Just,
gonna
just
say. So
so it's
it's a
only
one
one.
point difference, and it's a
Oh,
one
I thought
point
it was bigger
difference,
than that.
and Real Madrid actually has a game in hand. So they
Oh,
Barcelona has
that
34
doesn't make any
points,
sense.
and Real Madrid has 33 points. Atletico Madrid is actually in third place with 32 points. So
Oh wow, it's
I
a
mean,
the
It's
it's
tight.
difference.
it's
It's
close.
up. It's up over there.
Yeah, I
But
actually
Yeah.
think
yeah,
they'll double down on Gabriel's
no. So
form.
then, no, they're still in everything, and
Yeah,
yeah,
I think
they
that
might
they're
be.
still going to win the Champions League.
Yeah, like they might be going through a slump, but I still think they'll.
I don't
I
know about the
Like,
Champions League,
I
but
I
don't know
don't
about
Bro,
know. This
Champions
They
League.
getting
to me,
Copa
bro,
del
hey,
Rey.
hey, I'm
It's Madrid, bro. We have to,
December
bro.
1st.
When are we
no.
gonna
It
win
is
this?
Madrid.
It's
It is
every
Madrid.
year. It's every
Real
year. We say
Madrid
this every single year.
is
I
winning the
hear you.
Champions.
I hear you. I listen. I hear you. I know we say this every year, but they're missing a big piece of their team that just retired.
yeah.
Someone who can just make the ball tick with
Hmm.
1 to 2 touch passes. and someone who just, he drops back and sits and does all that ball movement, and then they added a huge piece to their team that they have to figure out how to use with another key component of their team that they both play the same position.
Not to
So it's
mention
like,
two missing key players in the back,
correct,
Carvajal and what's his name,
Militao.
Militao, out for
But
the
I like
season
your
as
point.
well.
I like your point about Pogba though.
And then finally, like I said, this new format, this anybody can win it. I think this season with this
Exactly.
new format.
Yeah.
So that's why I said, like, I'm not sure, you know what I mean, what's going to happen with them. But the weight of the jersey, you can definitely see it on him. You can see like it's
Yeah.
heavy. It's
I mean,
definitely heavy for him.
it would take some
I
time
think
for him to adjust. My fault.
honestly, for me with Mbappe, it's again he's been in Uber Eats League for his whole career. He's been in that. He's been there the whole time. He was with Monaco in that. Even though it wasn't a super team because it was a lot of youngins, it was a team that was stacked. I mean, now in retrospect,
Yeah.
we had Bernardo
mhm,
Silva, we had Bukayo Saka, we had
mhm.
all that. So Fabinho, it was a good team, and it showed in the Champions League. Then he
Mhm.
goes to the best team in the weakest league, and that team goes on to add Messi, goes on to add Neymar, goes on to add Hakimi. He had the perfect situation to win. They got to a finals and they lost the finals. I mean, and no shame in losing your first final Champions League.
Yeah.
Barely anyone wins.
That's fair.
But
Mhm.
then a lot of his accolades come from his national team showings. And again, we talked about that Pogba shout. Pogba was probably the most important team in that first World Cup win, or most important player, sorry, in that first World Cup win, and how good he was, how he showed up for them.
Mhm.
Mbappe was definitely up there too, but he was so young and no one knew what he was about. A pacey kid that could shoot from anywhere, but he wasn't technical. And now people realizing that he struggles with technique, and he's in the La Liga, the league that is all technique.
Techers.
And so he struggles with that. That's not what he has been trained to do, or how he's having expected out of him. And so he goes from a soft league with the best team. Now he goes to a league that is challenging, in a team that has actually like expectations that are all put onto them. And he's struggling under the weight of them. The lights are too bright. He needs some time to adjust to those lights. And when he adjusts, he'll show out. But right now, I think he really needs to figure out what he wants to be, who he wants to be in this team, because it's confusing. It's difficult, bro. He's a left winger with two other left wingers, and they all having to share the same front three. And it's like, Vinny, remember when Vinny, his first year, like Benzema said he was what is it called? He was working against them. So it's not a surprise, and I think he just has to adjust, but also he's getting found out about his technique. He's not a person that's ever been good about techers. So we're gonna see
Good points. Those are some good points.
Yeah,
I
we're gonna
agree.
see with him.
I do believe that all this we won't be talking about this in a couple of months.
That's what
I think it's just a matter of time. Once it clicks, and if it really clicks, it'll be a problem.
He should have went to Arsenal.
I think it takes
I said
time.
he should have went to Arsenal. I don't think he should have went to Madrid, and that's just me being weird, I guess. But I would have loved to see him in Arsenal, take up the Henri mantle, and actually show out the way that he should have. Because he's Arsenal and black Frenchmen are a match made in heaven. And they've been like that for a minute. And I'm like, I was hoping he would go there, not even like as a person, as a fan of the sport. Like, I think he would have gone crazy under there, but he's at Madrid.
But like I said, I hope he proves me wrong with my takes. You know what I mean? Like I hope he does, because there are a lot of players in that team. I like them individually, and I like them when they play for their country also too. So I hope I'm proven wrong with this. But as of right now, I think losing Cruz was a big loss for them, and the injuries are not helping, and him trying to find his way while this team is expected to win everything is a bit tough.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I still got them with the Champions League, no doubt. Well, before we get into our teams, I just really wanted to just take a moment and talk about Fiorentina's player who collapsed today,
Yeah,
Eduardo Bovi.
Bove. Yeah,
Bove.
Bove.
Um, yeah, very unfortunate what happened. I didn't really see it, but Mike
Yeah.
or Gary, if you guys wanted to touch on it real quick.
Yeah, I mean, he collapsed on the field. They were playing Inter, I believe. They, took him to the hospital. Um, he's still sedated. Apparently, he's in intensive care. So
Mm.
hopefully, there's good news in the morning. But who knows? I think the players and staff on the field handled it. Everybody was aware very quickly. So hopefully that helped. Because with these type of incidents, it's just a matter of just a few seconds. It's all timing.
Yeah.
So hopefully their quick response was able to help. But we'll see tomorrow morning. Hopefully there's good news.
Yeah, I'll just say thoughts and prayers, to him
Yeah.
and his family. One thing I would say about modern football is there's compassion amongst both home and away fans,
Hmm.
and compassion with both home and away players in those situations. Because from
Yeah.
the 15-second clip that I saw of what happened,
Hmm.
everyone was like, "Hey, it's bigger than football in this moment." So I'm happy
Yeah.
to know that we have that type of awareness in the game, and we're in the era of modern medicine
Absolutely.
where I think as long as everything was identified early enough, they able to follow the stuff that they needed to follow. I'm very optimistic that you can pull through. So
Yeah.
thoughts and prayers to him, his family, his team, and just the viewers who watch something like that for the first time, because it can be triggering for some people.
Yeah. All right.
Um, Facts. Yeah. Well, let's get into it, man. Let's talk about our teams. And when we talk about our teams, I feel like there's only really one place to start. Um, so, look, can you readjust your
Oh.
background to the correct background before we start? Um, yeah. So, I actually wanted to start there uh, because I felt like when he did that. Can you move over to the right real quick, just so he could? Yeah. So when he did
The
that,
sixth
right?
god.
Yeah, when he did that, it was the one of the few times I've ever seen like Pep, like kind of like on the other
Act
side
out.
of
Yeah.
the dub. So it was really humbling to see. I think even for him, it,
Is
it
it? Is
didn't
it
even
a?
it didn't even look like he really wanted to do it for real, but he had to because they were singing "You're getting sacked in the morning." It just,
That is
it just
crazy.
looked crazy.
He's like, not
Oh man,
me,
yeah,
not
Solomon,
me.
man, what's up, bro? Talk to us, man. What's going on the blue side of
No, no.
things?
Before you go solo, though, is Pep a possible nominee for Crash Out of the Week?
Oh yeah, he's on, bro. We didn't even touch on. I'm sorry. Before you go, we didn't even touch on what he did midweek. Yeah, the
Yeah.
scratch on the
I
head,
mean,
Anyway.
and
listen,
then
man.
yeah,
Mhm.
Serial winners are sore losers. That's what I gotta say. And I think
So,
I like that. I like
with
that.
I think with Pep, with Mourinho, with just these coaches that have had amazing careers and done so much, uh, it's hard for them to lose. I mean, this guy's been basically winning since he was a player too. Like he was amazing in the Johan Cruyff days. So
Mhm.
it's listen. I'm just saying, similarly to not to compare us to Real Madrid in the sense that like I think we're a way worse situation than what Real Madrid are. I don't want to even try to act like it's not, but you're talking about these two teams, and I'm speaking more now on the City situation that have been made to every final for the past 4 years, almost every final for the past 4 years,
Mhm.
and the exhaustion that takes, the toll that takes on the players, on the coach, on the staff. These are humans at the end of the day. And it's showing. And I mean, like a third of our team is now on the wrong side of 30. It doesn't really, at the end of the day, a lot of, age isn't always going to make the difference. You got players like Modric who are still balling out, doing their thing. But for the most part, we're not where we were. We're not the team that we were 2-3 years ago, and it's very obvious. Poor decisions from Pep in terms of like, why are we starting Rico Lewis and Gundogan when we should be starting Doku and KDB and Savio. But again, if I were to go to that Liverpool team and I took out Van Dijk, Soboslai, I guess. I don't know who their best midfielder is, and a couple other people. You take that core team out, you create some issues of like, okay, stability, and I think those aren't helping. I'm not saying that's the only reason. I said the bad decisions, poor decisions, but it is what it is. Like it is messing us up. If I take your ball, if I take Ballon d'Or player out of the team, you're gonna be falling. So it's like I'm gonna say it as is. I'm not, again, please, no, I'm not saying that's the only reason. You asked what's going on. That's one of many reasons. I'm not gonna say that's the only reason. I get it. I understand. But it is one of many reasons, bro. We gotta be honest there. And so Diaz, this was Diaz's first game back. This was Doku's first game back. Grealish came back on Feyenoord, and I think what's it called? Stones, he fell out on the Spurs game before.
Hey, what's up with Kevin, man? What's up with Kevin?
I think whatever's happening with Kevin.
Trying to hide Kevin. We know
whatever's happening with Kevin is similar to what's happening with Salah. Maybe there's a contract situation because there was talks about going to Saudi in the summer, but they weren't sure about that. His contract is coming to a point. And then, like I said, he was injured for like 3 weeks. That was a thing that happened. So
he's been back though.
Kevin, he has been back. He's been back.
And he's not been playing.
He's home alone, Kevin.
Yeah.
Home alone, Kevin.
And so, I think what happened with this game was Liverpool is red hot. They're in an amazing form, and we are in the worst form that I've seen us in since the Pellegrini days when we had Demichelis, Otamendi, Kolarov as our back three. This is back when we had Sanya and Gael Clichy at 33, 34, running up and down the wings.
I remember y'all so popular Sanya from us. I was like, why, dude?
Yeah, and so it's like we don't have a holding midfielder that can hold the midfield. Gundo has not been what we hoped he would be.
Nunez was like on the wing. I was like, okay.
Nunez, the crazy thing is Nunez has had a good few games, not on the wing, but he has had a few good games. The past 3, he's been a bright spot for us, but he's not. I would have put Doku and Savio. They're both available. So why wouldn't you put your two pacey wingers against this like extremely fast-paced Liverpool team? And with this whole situation, a little 6-1, 6 fingers up and everything. That's just ego. That's just pride. That's just reminding people who he is. And I respect it because, like, when Mourinho did it and they were talking about, the sacked one instead of the special one or whatever, he did it 3 times, bro. He did it 3 times at Chelsea. He did it at United, and then he did it at Chelsea again, putting the 3 fingers up. So this man, if you want to talk about shameless, we want to talk about shameless. We're talking about Mourinho as much as we're talking about Pep right now. But Pep right now, he's won more trophies by himself than any Premier League team. He's won more Premier League trophies by himself than most Premier League teams in the past like 40 years. That's just crazy. Outside of United, excuse me. So it's just like,
what are you talking about here?
Sorry, outside of United, but like it's crazy what he's done, what he's accomplished. So,
how do you think you guys fix the situation though? How do you fix this?
We fix this by one. We got to get on the other side of these court cases because I do think that is draining us. That has been a cloud over our heads for 2.5 years. I remember when we beat the UEFA case against the UCL, and that gave us a huge boost in our energy. And so maybe this could do that in January. Now he's talking about it's not going to be done for another year. I don't know, but all I know is that that's definitely a cloud over the club. Again, a third of our team is over 30. We gotta do a rebuild probably next year or the year after, most likely the year after. We've had the same players. We've had the same starting 11 for like 5 years.
Let's talk about some of your players though, because some of your players just aren't performing.
Walker is buns. Walker is buns. He's been horrible.
Let's talk about
Ederson making mistakes.
No
Yeah,
one's
It's
talking
I
about
don't.
$500 million.
Savino came in.
Savino
He
forgot his
played
Brazilian
nicely.
passport.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
he
Savinho
can't
is there's
score at
no
all.
you know what's crazy is that Savinho and Doku, the thing that when you get a new club and you start looking up like the highlight mixtapes and stuff, the lack of goals that I saw in Doku and Savinho's highlight tape said a lot to me. And I was just
Listen.
like, okay, they're young, they're 21, they're 22, like they can add that to their game. Look at Rafinha. But at the end of the day, like they came to this club not scoring goals and assists, and we haven't figured out how to get them to go get the goals and assists that they should be getting. And lastly, Holland, I'll say this, man. This is childish to say this, but Holland really struggles when he goes up against certain types of center backs.
Yeah, real men. Real men.
No,
Yeah.
no.
He's a great player.
Say with your chest. He struggles when he comes across a grown
Real
man.
sen- Yeah, exactly.
He struggles when he comes across melanated men. That's the thing. I'll say that right now. When it's Rudiger, when it's Van Dijk, when it's Konate, he struggles. But it's
Thiago
really what it
Silva.
is.
Put
He needs
Saliba
to
in
be
there too. Sorry for
bro.
Gabriel.
Saliba. The thing is, he needs a Kevin De Bruyne. He needs a creative player behind him to get some passes out. And he hasn't figured out that part of his game to like create goals for himself. But he's a true 9, bro. That's not what he's ever was meant to do. And we've known this about him. And it's like, I'm not a big fan of trying to like take players and put them, if we know what they're good at, I'm not trying to put them into situations that they aren't what is it called? That they're not like meant for. Like Holland is not Messi. He's not a what's it called, a false 9. He's not the dude that's gonna sit back, grab the ball, move it up. He's the guy you get the ball to, but you got to get the ball to him.
Moments.
Yeah. And our system right now, man, KDB got 20 assists playing with him that first year off rip because he was high, he was in form. Either way, we're buns. We ain't shit. We got to do better. We got to figure out ourselves. It's been 4 years in a row. This is probably, honestly, this is good for the league. It really is. It's not. It's
I'm not
better
trying
for
to
the
hear
league
that, dude.
than it is
No,
anything else.
This is why I got. That's why I gotta let you stop.
Yeah,
man.
you gotta
But this
stop
is
it.
what I would say about your team, right? Pep has this philosophy of like when you want to leave, he will let you go, type thing, and everybody's replaceable. I feel like since like Mahrez and those type of players have left, you haven't replaced them with the same type of techie players. Like Mahrez, the ball sticks to his feet. You know what I mean? He can make just about any pass, get anything done. And then you replace him with who's the winger you said? Sevilla. Savinho. Yeah, the Brazilian who was from Brazil Street in England, not really from Brazil. You know what I mean? You don't play like a Brazilian. And then y'all had Grealish on the wing at first, another techie player who can really move the ball, and you replace him with Doku, aka Elephant Man, my man doing ponder of a ponder bank on the field. You know what I mean? So it's like I remember the first time I met you, I told you about Doku. I told you about on-the-job training with him. And I told you that guy ain't
On the
it.
job training, I do remember this.
On the
told you
job
that guy-
traded. That's
told you that
I
guy
do
ain't it.
remember
You
this.
know what I
I do
mean?
remember this.
yeah.
And then the other
Go ahead,
piece
my
I
bad.
would say is like this midfield in Rico Lewis experiment that y'all got going on. I mean, I like him as a player. He looks the part on the field, scanning and getting into space, asking for the ball, but then he doesn't know what to do after he gets it at his feet. And then finally, your team is not good enough anymore to have a passenger like Holland, who's only good in the 18-yard box. He does nothing for you unless you get him the ball in front of the goal. He does nothing for you in that set, So I think your team is in transition while you have injuries and your manager is trying to figure out how to integrate all these players while expected to win. So I don't know what's going to happen. You do need a roster overhaul in some places. Kyle Walker looks like he is using a
Yeah,
Walker.
might be.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Kyle Walker, I like
You
him.
know what I mean?
He
Lost
might
some
be bad
pace.
too.
Phil Foden is Foden. You know what I mean? So I don't know what's going on with your
My man,
guys, man.
he got a book of these. Hold up, where you
You
got?
know?
Yeah.
Oh man,
But
no,
let's talk about because let's
You're
talk
not
about some
wrong
of these
though.
players. Some of these players are not performing to the levels
they're
that they,
not.
For
they
the
should.
And
fraud.
Yeah.
they've been there for a while. You know what I mean? Guardiola,
Yeah.
your center back. You know he was scoring goals for you all last year. All of a sudden, this man can make a 5-yard pass. I don't know what's going on with your team.
Kanji. No,
You
our
know what
whole
I mean?
team is like we're yeah, it's a bunch of different individuals underperforming.
Yeah,
Doku and Savio, I try to give them a slide because they're young and it's their first year, figure
I'm
it out.
not.
We're just human, bro. Like we're not the team
We're
that
just
should be winning
human.
every game,
Is Grealish a flop? I mean,
No.
Nah.
This is the thing I would
the
say.
only reason y'all cannot confidently say no or yes is because he has trophies.
Here's
Does
my thing
trophies
about
take
Grealish,
away
bro.
from
That's
the
the only
individual?
reason why you
He-
can't say he's a flop.
Here's my
This-
thing about Grealish.
Look.
30 million of his 100 million is English tax. Okay, we gotta
Correct.
remember
No
that.
one's-
I'm
the tag was the
saying that
tag,
like
bro.
he should have came. We bought him for $100 million, and anytime you're $100 million player, you got eyes on you.
Bro, has he scored 20
expectations.
goals for you guys? 20 goals?
No, he hasn't
Oh.
done that. And the thing is, he was the main guy at Aston Villa, so that was why. It's like same thing with Cole Palmer at Chelsea that year, but last year
But-
he's the main guy.
Yeah.
Everything goes through him.
But this
and
is the
so-
thing with Pep. I would say, like, first of all, Grealish should have never went to your team.
I
'Cause
agree.
Given
I
given
agree.
given the type of player he was, he should have never went to your team.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Pep
That
does
was
not
not-
like players like that. He does not like
Mhm.
maverick type players who are going to unlock the box. And Cole Palmer smelled the writing on the wall for himself. He's like, I cannot go play this type of game in Pep's system.
Yeah.
So Grealish made a poor choice for himself, and you guys were just stockpiling all the talent at that point in time.
And
So-
I want to add one more thing about Pep. So I'm never going to say Pep out. It's hard to say Pep out to a player that coach that has done what he's done with the team, right? It's
No
he
one
finished
has
his
to.
contract.
No one
Yeah,
has
I know. I'm just saying, like, I can never really like go too hard on him. But one thing that I've always said about his philosophy is two things I don't really rock with as me as a person that loves the sport and loves my team. I don't rock with the idea of having small squads. I get it's easier to manage. We've had the smallest squad in the league for like 3 of the past 4 years, and most of any years because he says it's easier to manage than it is to have to do
That's
like a
just
bunch of
squad
players.
small.
We're like so our whole squad for the past few years has been 23 to 24 players. The average squad size is 25 to 27. And I'm not saying that's a huge difference, but it makes a difference in the sense of like when you get injuries, you don't have players to make that space. And his philosophy has always overridden like what are the needs of the team. And sometimes it works out for us. I mean, most times it's worked out for us, but there are times where it doesn't. Secondly, I understand possession. I get that possession is an important aspect of the game. You got to start encouraging these dudes to take chances and be creative. One thing I've appreciated about Ancelotti, he is a coach that lets players be who they are. Even if they are trash, he will let them be who they are. And so my thing is like Ancelotti hasn't it's called Pep doesn't let players to be who they are. He says, you're Grealish. Forget everything about who you are. I need you to just progress the ball forward. Forget all the creativity, all that other stuff. Just progress the ball forward and get the pass in. It works sometimes, and now it's not. It is what it is. When you have a coach that has such a this is the trap of a coach that has such a an identity for how they play. They get trapped by it, and so we're like kind of trapped in Pep's mind right now. I won't lie.
Like we were speaking earlier on Real Madrid, this is not a situation where I see them being okay. I think this is the season. This is going to be you guys up and down all season. You have injuries, key guy is out. You have injuries to, Kovacic, another key midfielder, out for a long time.
Holding
Kevin is coming back. We'll give Kevin time. But other than that,
what's wrong with Kovacic again?
Oh, he's out for 6 weeks or something like that. Was it a knee injury or
6
something?
to 8 weeks. He's out for a little bit.
Yeah, he's out for a minute. So to me, it's like I don't see. You're not going to keep losing games. That's for sure. You have the talent to win games. But I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel in terms of, oh, we're just going to pick it back up. I don't
So
think this is the same. This is the same situation.
when
But
we
other
were
than
10
that,
points
I think
behind, my bad, sorry.
no. Go ahead.
When we were 10 points behind Liverpool the 2 times that in December, the 2 times that we chased them down to the end of the league, I knew we would do that because we had the facilities. We do not have the facilities for that no more. We don't have the
not
capacity.
this time.
And so like my goal is top 4 in a cup competition, whichever the two, like either Champions League or FA Cup or anything. We just got to get 7 or 8 games
No
in a
way,
row
man.
and do the best.
Crazy.
That's
I know
crazy.
you're in top four.
Y'all went from trying to win 4 trophies in a season to top 4 in a cup.
Yeah, because like we're in a deep transition space.
Expectations have changed.
The league isn't. The
Reality.
league is not. It's not that we would need Liverpool to capitulate crazy. We would need Arsenal to mess up crazy. We would need Aston Villa to mess up crazy. Like we would need a lot of before it was just we just need Liverpool.
That's crazy.
Villa's not even top 4.
Wait. My bad. Sorry.
Villa, I don't know where Villa is in the table right now.
Yeah, I don't even know where Villa is.
Last time I checked, they were close. Let me see. I thought they were.
They lost their last like 8 or something, right? They haven't won.
Some of y'all not paying attention to the weekly recaps. I said Villa don't pay attention. They're going to find themselves not relevant.
12, bro.
Yep.
They're not relevant anymore. They lost 3 of their last
Chelsea needs to mess up then. Never mind. Disrespect on my end.
But
we need a lot of people to mess up.
I said all this. I say all that to say this, and I do agree with you, but let's not act like Kevin is the same Kevin that we knew from 2 years ago when Haaland was breaking all them records. This is 2 years later. This is Kevin who didn't play half of last year and is already showing signs of his age this year. So, like, look, I'm not gonna count out City because we know what Pep has done these last 10 years in the league. But if y'all don't pick up players this January, it's going to be very telling how you guys finish the season.
I'll say we got one kid coming in, Claudio Echeverri. He's an Argentinian kid. He was part of the Argentinian World Cups team. He's a midfielder. He seems like he got a lot of like good energy. He's similar to Julian Alvarez, but more of a midfielder, not a striker.
Yeah, it makes me
guys
wonder.
Miss Alvarez.
You guys definitely need a few more players. Like I'm sure you have a player or two already on your watch list, but I don't know if it's just going to be one guy. You know, like and again, we saw what City did. What was that, a few years ago, where you pretty much went like December, January unbeaten. I'm not even ready to start like calling it a race until after December. You know, until the new year, because January is going to be very telling for a lot of teams. Just like you said, bro. Like if you look at second place all the way down to like 12th or 13th place, it's only 6 or 7 points. So it really is, you drop 2 or 3 matches and you're really out of the top 10. So I don't think it's over for City. It would be crazy to think they don't finish in the top 4 spot. But, you know, for you guys to be competing for trophies this year, I don't know about all that.
My thing is, because cup competitions are weird in the sense that you can hyper focus into one and do well. Doesn't mean you win, but you could do well. My thing is like, it's just
y'all don't have the facilities though.
We don't. And my thing is though, it's like, it's just this Liverpool team. I do think we can get to number 2, number 3, or number 4. This Liverpool team is weird, and I'm waiting until January, like you said. But they're legit. Arne Slot is
y'all couldn't beat us right now.
No, actually, you have a hard time being united on a regular day, anyways.
Yeah.
But I think I'll say this before we move on.
They are whooping on y'all, but they ain't whooping on me. I don't know. Don't put me.
Before we move on, though, I'm glad Cornelius brought up Kevin. The reason I've been bringing up Kevin is like, all of a sudden we forgot Kevin plays for City. If City were to pick up a little bit of steam, you will see that Kevin, like hype. It's like they give these guys so much hype. Okay, now let's pick out the guys that actually make things click on this team. Kevin is nowhere to be found. I get it. He's just coming back. But my goodness, when you're on the field, I got to see something. He's not moving anything. He's not moving anything.
You know what's the extra salt to the wound on my end? But also it's like I take kind of like I don't know. I don't take it too negatively. So I'm planning to go see City play for the first time this spring, going to the Etihad and everything.
Oh, yeah.
My goal is I really want to go see, and I know we are in our probably again this is typical City. This is the city that when we had like Kolarov guy, what was it called?
Pre-pep.
We had pre-pep. So like there's a part of me where I'm like, I remember supporting the team at that time, and we had this song that we sang where it was just like, we lost last week, we lost today, but we don't give a fuck because we're gonna we're pissed up. And that's the song that we sing. It's like, and I remember singing that song, and the song body was just like, you know what? It is what it is. Like it is what it is. I'm gonna go watch the team eat buns.
Take a break. Take a break this season.
It's
just out on the piss. There you go.
we pissing it up, and I'm not mad that I'm seeing Liverpool do what they're doing. They've been our competitive rivals for the past few years. I'm not mad at seeing Arsenal do what they're doing. I mean, black excellence across the board. I'm not mad at seeing.
Yeah, shout out Liverpool, man. We've talked City this whole time. We didn't even shout out Liverpool, man.
No, I've been trying to say that. Yeah,
big up.
They've been balling, man.
Yeah, they found their balance. They definitely have.
Yeah,
Klopp is sick. Klopp is sick that he left and City's faltering. Like he wish he was here for this right now.
I would say this with Liverpool just because I watch a lot of their games. They play like semi Klopp ball in a sense. They don't. Their foot is just not always on the gas. It's on the gas in certain spaces.
Yeah.
If you look at their pressing triggers in the game, it's so different from when Klopp was there, but they press just as hard. Because now Trent looks like a good defender all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot different when you ask him to defend 70 yards versus ask him to defend 50. You know what I mean? So it's a totally different game. They have a lot of balance in there. And since Mo Salah went to Turkey and got that hairline, bro, like he's been just on smoke. You know what I mean? That new hair Salah is a different guy. You know
I'll say this too, though. Oh, go ahead. Finish.
So I've given Salah a lot of flack in the past, but I would definitely say Salah this season, he wants all the smoke.
Yeah,
he wants all of it. You know,
he wants another contract, man.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, man, but give that man whatever he wants. He's definitely showing that, like, hey, you know, I'm still one of the best players in the world at my position.
I'm in the conversation, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Ain't it crazy though that like there's not even any like discussions about contract extensions though, or at least like from what they're saying. Like, I mean, that's what he's saying. So like
he say he's more out than in.
Yeah, because he's being realistic. He says,
but this is your arguably some could argue this is the best player
ever
the club has ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I know some may say Steven Gerrard, and some may even say what Kenny
fading by the day, man.
Yeah, and all those other guys. Some even say Luis Suarez. But like, I don't know, bro. I just think that it's wild that he hasn't been given an extension, and this is one of the best players. I mean, ever to probably play in the Premier League, definitely. If he wasn't in the same era as the City team,
we'd probably be saying, yeah, he's the best player.
A couple.
Let me ask you something. Is Mo Salah in your top 10, top 5, or top 3?
Of what?
Top 10 for sure.
Like what are we talking? All time or striker?
All time wingers. Because I don't know, forwards is too difficult. All time wingers, top 10, top 5, or top 3.
He's not easily top 10. He's easily
okay.
He's top 10 for me.
Of all time, of all wingers.
Of all wingers.
I would say of the Premier League era, which is I guess all time
since 2000.
I would say top 5.
You're gonna have to get back to me on that. I'm gonna have to like really start thinking. I can't think about that on the spot.
Nah, top 10.
On the spot though, I'm gonna give him top 10 just based.
Yeah, on the spot, top 10.
I put him
wingers. Wingers.
I mean,
I put him above Hazard.
I'd probably even say top 8, top 5. I'd have to think.
I put him above a lot of players, bro. I put him above Hazard.
This is how I would say. This is what I would say with him. if you want to go longevity with him, he's done it for a long time in terms of
over
like
six
He's
just
years.
won every
just
trophy once.
just being consistent over a long time. If you want to
Mhm.
go off of like full ability, football ability, minus like the statistic goal piece and all that other stuff, I would say no, because I would say there have been better footballers overall than him. I mean, I don't think he's a better footballer overall than Hazard. I don't think so. Skill set wise, I can't say that. Prime Hazard was a problem. Like
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
But this guy,
But he's also in my
his
top 10.
yeah, what I'm
but he,
saying, his peak might have been shorter, but like
Exactly.
prime
Mhm.
Hazard, man,
Mhm.
that's a different monster. You know what I mean? I saw prime Henri too. I'm not giving him over prime Henri.
Good.
I'm
but
Exactly.
I'm not
Henry's a
I'm
We've
not.
winger.
seen
He
some
was a striker.
guys.
He was a striker too, though.
But I mean, he's a hybrid type player. But I mean, he was out wide, a portion at some point too during that Overmars era and all that other stuff. I wouldn't put him there. Um, when I look at Mo Salah and Giggsy, I'm not giving. I'm
Bro,
not.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm
I'm not
not
even
giving.
putting him over gigs.
I'm not, because like Giggs was
I
able
am.
to move from that
Hey,
wing
I ain't
position
gonna
and go
hold
into the
you.
middle of the.
I am.
Crazy.
I
I
am.
ain't
No,
gonna. But,
no,
but,
listen to me. Like I said, from a footballing standpoint, I'm not saying the
you're right.
goals and all that stuff,
Not just
right?
goals. We're not saying just
Right.
goals.
Sure,
Like
sure,
Because
sure. As
overall.
a
Yeah.
footballer itself.
Giggsy in his old age went into that midfield and didn't really like skip a beat for the most part in there. So, like I said, I'm looking at overall arching football player. You know what I mean, in a sense. But if you're looking at just playing that position with the longevity and the and the and the and the
Yeah.
at
We
the
could
at
definitely
the height
argue.
of his powers for that
Probably
point in
top
time,
five.
you have to respect him delivering for that long time. But as far as
Yeah.
footballing ability, I would say there have been more
There were
talented
some
wing.
bad ones, man.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
that's
it's
the
Bad
part.
hard,
man.
bro.
That's
If
that's
you
the
look
part.
at
It's hard. It's really
and
hard.
that's why like and I'm always I've always been of the philosophy 60% eye test, 40% stats, because stats can be skewed to,
Super
obviously just like
misleading.
yeah, with like the whole Giggs and
Mhm.
Salah comparison, yeah, Giggs is a better footballer, but when it comes to stats, I mean, when you look at what
Yeah,
Salah
it
was doing
blows him
for
up.
his
Yeah.
team, it's both. And it's not like he's a bad footballer. He's just a little bit more direct, a little bit more simple. You can kind of identify what he's best at very quickly. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
It's
he's like
weird.
a
It's
goal
weird when we do
scorer.
that.
It's subjective. It depends on how you
Yeah.
like your football. You know what I mean?
True.
It
I
True.
really
think
does.
what I heard so far is Giggs, Cristiano,
Yeah, I forgot
uh,
Christie
Hazard.
Eden Hazard,
as
Garrett. Okay, is he above Gareth Bale at least?
Henri.
He's above
Okay,
Gareth
Henry,
Bale.
yeah.
I mean, Gareth Bale was
Okay.
good.
I mean,
He was-
ability
I
wise.
wouldn't put Gareth Bale above him. No,
I
Gareth
Okay,
Bale
wouldn't
was
so
either.
then I
Gareth
think
Bale was
for me,
pace.
you
he's
wouldn't put Gareth Bale above Mohamed Salah,
What
I would
what can Salah do that Bill can do?
bro. Salah, he can
not be
score.
injured.
Just score. He's a goal scorer, bro. He's damn near a striker. He scores damn near
Yeah,
more
yeah,
than some of these strikers.
He
He's
yeah.
scored
a,
the
he's a
most
right
I
to
goals
me.
understand that
and
he's
To
has
me,
more
playing.
assists
To me,
than
Salah is
everyone
a
we just
right
mentioned.
forward. You know what I mean? I look at
It's
him as a right forward, like a far
yeah,
right
no,
forward.
Yeah.
We,
That's
we
how I
should
kind of
He
compare
look.
him to
scored.
strikers for real. I just feel like
He
it's even.
scored and assisted more than any of the players that you guys have mentioned. That doesn't mean everything, but that says something.
Like I said,
Bro,
it depends on how you like it. Are you a stat person? Are you like a whole encompassing as a football player? I mean, it just depends on what you
But
like.
like,
You know what I
but
mean?
okay, but look at Robin. Look at Arjun Robin. Like Robin, like
that's a
all
winger.
he
That's a winger.
Yeah, that's a
that's a
winner.
proper winger. But
Mhm.
that man, all he did was the same move over and over again. Was it effective? Absolutely. But he wasn't doing much more outside of that.
But you
So
can't
like,
stop it.
Uh, you
and
You
you
know
the
do.
it's
same with
coming.
Salah. It's like
Me and you both
like
know. The whole stadium knows.
He's about to
And
cut and
they were
left
still going
super
in.
hard, and you can't do nothing about
yeah.
it.
Yeah, but
Right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I just look at it like, bro, Salah and like Saka are both right wingers, but they are not the same. Like Saka
It's
is a
not
Don't be
winger.
close.
doing that.
That
Don't be comparing
conversation
it
is
to
a
that
different
youngin, bro.
That's
conversation.
a different
It's not
conversation.
even
But
close.
like I said, two different type
No, I'm
of.
just saying they're different though, bro. Like, yeah, they're right wingers on paper, but like, bro, Salah is like this year. I would say actually, I've seen him be a little bit more well-rounded in his game. He's creating a
I
little bit
agree. I
more
would
too.
agree.
Yeah, I would say. I
yeah.
think
And
he's
actually,
lost a
that's
little
probably,
pace, so he has to kind of redefine himself a
yeah,
little bit.
Yeah, I thought you said read the vibe.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Redefine.
That too,
But
Redefine.
though.
My
yeah,
apologies.
That
definitely
too,
read
though.
the vibe. I like that a lot better. Read the vibe. But now let's get into Arsenal, man. Cornelius, you can take it from here, bro. But
Um, Not much to say, honestly. 5-2 first half, 5-2 was the final score. Arsenal. So I will say this: Arsenal needs wins like this to build their confidence back up because we all know their ability. I honestly think it's just a confidence issue with them. You know, going 2 years in a row, falling short to City both times. It like you're a confident team, but when you, I feel like Liverpool had this a little bit too. When you're just like second place, like when you're always second place, that does something to you mentally. Like it puts you in a spot where you like you can kind of get stagnant and not think you're good enough. So, right now Chelsea and Arsenal are equal on points, equal on goals, equal on wins, losses, everything. So that one shows you where Chelsea is, but that also kind of shows you where Arsenal is. They're like, look, we 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 need to attack. We need to. I know we had our blip early this season. I know we had our injuries, but we need to attack. And they took advantage of a Wolves team or a West Ham team that isn't good. I mean, we've been saying this all year. This West Ham team, we can't seem to figure out why they trash. But Arsenal did what they had to do, man. And it's good to see. It's good to see Odegaard score. It's good to see Saka ball out. And I know we've been pretty critical on Saka in the past, but these last couple of years, he's just showing the consistency. And I read something that I agree with. Somebody said I don't know, it was on Twitter or X or Instagram, but somebody was saying that Saka's kind of been so consistent for so long now, this year and a half run with goal or assist that we kind of look at him like it's normal, and it's not. Like this guy's actually like producing, and I'll let Gabriel say his part, but this guy's actually producing at a crazy level, and it's kind of just being overlooked because of this Arsenal Arteta. It's Arteta's plan. It's always him, the mastermind, pulling the strings. But if we for real look, bro, this soccer guy is like hooping, hooping, and I think today kind of just shows. It just shows like what he's been doing. 2 assists and that goal at the end. The penalty was just a cherry on top. But he's really the guy that I've been looking at this year because I've always been. Is Saka world class? I'm not ready to say that yet. He needs to be more consistent for me. He needs to do this, that, and the third. But honestly, he's at that point where he is world class to me. I don't know. It was a good win from Arsenal. It wasn't really showing me anything I hadn't seen, but it shows me that they're getting their confidence back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy about the week. I'll start off with Sporting actually because I definitely want to speak on that. I was honestly still a little nervous when we went into Sporting for Champions League because we just don't play well in these midweek like overseas. Like I don't know these random countries, Portugal, just going over. Russia, like I don't know, like we just don't play well. So, but I knew we would be up for this game, honestly, because all the rumors. Everyone like I try to act like we know that they don't hear the talk or they don't hear the gossip or the rumors. You know what I mean? So, you know, I knew we'd be up for this game, and it was just good to go there and just completely dominate this team, and just show that we're much better. I know this. We tend to shut strikers down, and it was good to shut him down. And the antics are the antics. It was cool to see. I mean, I don't know. I don't mind it at all. I love the antics personally because I'm all about competition and competitiveness. So in all good fun. Maybe if we play him again, he'll get a goal. But but yeah, no, happy to get a win there. And I think that was Victor.
Victor Gyökeres.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay.
So, yeah, no, it was good to get a dub there, but then at the same time, I think it propelled us to have a good and good performance away at West Ham, and I think this West Ham team is in a rut. I don't know what's going on with them. I still can't I don't know. They're just, yeah, I don't know. That team just isn't performing at a level we thought they would be. But it's good to go and get a convincing win there. Um, we are better than these two teams that we played this past week, and we showed it. I mean, 10 goals in 2 matches. My issue now is we're leaking so many goals. That's my issue, and I don't. I'm not quite understanding. We're leaking goals on set pieces, which is really bad. Um, and we're just leaking goals in general. You got to think about it. This is one of the best defensive teams last year, and we bought more defenders. We have Timber, who's going to be one of our defenders. But at the same time, Loki, all of them, most of our right backs and left backs are hurt or coming back from injury. So it's like, I don't feel like there hasn't really been consistency in our back line. I think that's what the issue, honestly. Like, we just don't have the consistency in our back line of a group of four that's always has been there for 20 weeks. We had that when we just had, honestly, when we had Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, and what's his name, Ben White. We just knew that was the back line. There's consistency. There was an understanding, a mutual understanding between everything. And I think now with changing our lineup so much, especially just our right backs and left backs, because they're coming back from injury. They have Knox, Sista, and the third. Tomiyasu's not even with our team. So it's like,
Tomiyasu.
It's not. That's really my only issue. So, but I'm happy about the 2 wins. I'm happy that we showed up, and we have a big match on Wednesday. So,
Let me ask. Well, one, I'm just gonna put away the double standard of I'm not gonna hear that about injuries. That's aside. But the thing I want to ask you though,
I'm cool. I'm just like I'm really upset about us leaking goals. Like, we're really leaking goals for no reason. And the Emerson free kick was just a banger. Like, I can't even. Great goal.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
Well, let me ask you. We're going into January. Are there any reinforcements that you'd like to see Arsenal make to embolden that title charge in the second half of the season?
Y'all been asking me for the past year.
Oh yeah, you're right. This is deja vu. Never mind.
Past 3 years, bro. This one, yes. You need striker, bro. You need a 9. But outside of that, I do think we, in addition, maybe of another winger, wouldn't be bad, because Saka needs a break, bro. It's only a matter of time. So he needs a break. And I mean, I don't want to say another right back or left back, but bro, all of them are injured or not good enough, bro.
Yeah, it's rough.
You feel me? But, and it's like they're not available. This is Ben White. He's been consistent for the past couple of years. This is his first time really being injured, but he's out for a couple months. Tomiyasu, he's not with the team. Zinchenko just coming back from injury. He's also not good enough. Timber, he's coming back, but he's been in and out. Calafiori's just not coming back from an injury. Gabriel just got punched in the head the other day, so I don't know if he has a concussion or not. We'll see if he plays on Wednesday. So it's like, all of my defenders are just injured. And midfield wise, I'm glad Odegaard is back. Thank God, because our team was obviously lacking without him. And yeah, I'm not really too worried about our midfield. I'm not really honestly worried about our attack, because we're scoring goals. Saka is a walking GA. Yeah. So it's like we're scoring goals. Now I'm looking at defensively, we're getting caught up, and it's goals sometimes in bad moments. Like we went up 3-0, 4-0 against West Ham, and they scored 2 quick. Like, that can quickly alter a match. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't understand why we're allowing certain things like that to happen. But I hope we can get that figured out. That's my worry with my team right now. But rotation wise, lineup wise, we've been good.
I say this with I don't know how I say this, but right now, the big stories in the Premier League are Liverpool on fire and Man City doing horrible. So I take that as is. Arsenal seem to always start to catch up on people when the lights off them, and so I do worry that as they start to become the challenger to Liverpool's, like, because they're the premier challenger for 1 and 2, right? I do wonder, have they developed that maturity yet to handle the pressure of like the league looking at you like, oh, you're gonna take it, it's your chance. Because again, when the light starts to shine is when things start to get a little shaky for this club. And my thing that's crazy is that, like, I started watching the league, Premier League, in 2010, so it's 14 years. It's not like y'all have been watching it forever. I've always felt like Arsenal is right there. It's right there. And I'm just like, they're going to do it. They're going to take it, and they're going to go to the next level. And then the lights get them. So, like, I'm worried because, like, right now, the lights are off them. Everybody's watching. They've seen Arsenal do well, but no one's, like, fixated.
No, Mike is watching.
We're watching. Trust me, we're watching. Yeah.
I feel like everyone's watching, but I just feel like, it's Liverpool's to lose. They're top of the table by 9 points, bro. So, or is it 11 points or 9?
I think it's 9 now.
I think it's 9. I think it's 9. So yeah, it's 9 points. So, it's theirs to lose. They're up by 3 matches, and it's still early. I think we need to get a little bit deeper in the season to really start to, see how we really can close this gap. And they do have some tough matches coming up, so it is what it is. But bro, we'll be okay. I think as long as Odegaard stays healthy, bro, as long as Saka stays healthy, as long as Saliba and Gabriel stay healthy, we should be okay. That's truly my thought process. Everyone else will fill in, bro. Everyone else will fill in.
So we're calling it Saga for GA. Saga.
Yeah. Bro, he's a walking GA. Walking GA. Telling you. And everyone wants to talk about, oh, this guy and that. There's a reason he starts, bro. Club and country is a reason. It's a reason. Now, honestly, I'm looking at him now, because if we really, you need to do this all season. That's just it is what it is now. Like, I'm looking at you now, like, bro, if you're gonna keep doing this, like, don't try and like, I can rest for a little bit now. Like, no, bro, we're expecting this every match. Honestly, if you want to win something, we're expecting you to do this every match. Odegaard, if you want to win something, I'm expecting you to have some type of involvement in a goal. You know what I mean? Gabriel, Sully, if you guys want to win something, bro, this is what I need to see from you week in and week out. It's that simple, bro. And that sounds simple, but you feel me? Like, that's exactly what we need to do. So, I think that every team will go through a slump. There's very few teams that don't go through slumps. Especially in this day and age of football, or just gets caught up. So we'll see. We have to pretty much be perfect from here on out. But does Liverpool drop 3 matches this season?
Possible.
Yeah, possibly.
It doesn't all have to be losses.
They play.
Draw.
They draw. So I'm saying a draw. Like, they play us again.
Yeah, they see Chelsea again. They see.
They see. Yeah.
They see all the big 6 teams again.
Right. Yeah. So who knows? Who knows who's gonna get caught up? Who knows if they drop points to Ipswich one week?
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see. I'm taking, honestly, week by week until it gets to 8 weeks left, and I'm like, all right, what's it really looking like? Because
all right. So when are you announcing if you guys are in a title race or not? When is that? When is
right now?
No, they are, right? Because you guys are. I was going to ask you guys.
Hey, I'm not just saying we're not.
I don't do title races in the top of the year.
Yes, you do. Shut the.
No, I don't. I've never said we're in the title race in December. I've
No,
never.
yeah, you
I've,
are. No, my Cornelius, you were the one that you do. You remember? You are hilarious.
I don't
Do
know
you
what you're
remember
talking
the year
about.
that we finished second with Ole? Do you remember the year we finished second with Ole? You asked me. I remember. I was in Seattle. You said, "Salam, are you in the title race?" And it was December. And we finished second, distant second, but second
I said
nonetheless.
I ain't talking about y'all. Y'all can decide
Yeah.
when you're in the title race.
Bro,
You
I was
guys.
just asking a question. Were you in the title? You said yes. I said okay.
I'm
I was just curious.
Same time. This is the same time. I'm asking you. We're in December. Are you in the title?
No, we're not. We're not.
our manager said we're not. I'll let you know when we are.
What did you say?
We're not.
Cornelia said we're not. Okay, Mike. What do you think?
Go ahead, Mike.
Week number 15. You know, I'll let you know how I'm feeling. But anyways,
15.
You know,
That's 2 weeks. Mike.
That's in two games. We got
2
midweek
weeks, Mike.
games
What
this
are you
week.
talking about?
We'll wait before
no, but
2025.
we in Arsenal are looking like stepbrothers right now. You know, one thing I was saying though, one thing I want to point out. Last season, I said this Arteta Arsenal team reminds me of these posh teams. They were very competitive. They were good. They were relevant.
Please
Didn't
do
win
not
anything,
compare to Spurs, bro. Please do not.
bro.
No, absolutely
For
not.
us to go in the depths of hell and back and be sitting on the same point with y'all at this time of the season,
That's fine.
I'm just saying. I'm watching Arsenal very closely. This is the year they're supposed to win the league. This is the year, right? They're supposed to win the league. They got Marino, they're supposed to win the league. I'm just saying. This is the year.
Mike, this is
California.
crazy.
I'm just saying.
It's crazy.
This
is crazy.
my whole Chelsea take today is that I just want Arsenal to know. Just because you're second, because you go second, it doesn't make you relevant. Win something. Soccer GA. Let me remind you, man. Y'all forgot a nigga named Alexis Sanchez. He was doing that, man. We seen that before. Anyways,
Bro, Mike, stop. Stop it. Stop it. Absolutely not. You're not about to sit here and get off.
Nah,
First
man.
and foremost,
I'm the Arsenal guy.
No, you guys
Somebody's
will
got to
fall
keep
off.
your
You guys will
check,
fall
though.
off every year. Like you guys will fall off and not be competitive when it comes down to it. I'm not worried about you guys, and no one has been worried about you guys. Bro.
Okay, that's the problem. Y'all ain't worried about us. That's the problem.
No one's worried about you.
That's the
No
actual
one's
problem.
worried about you. Bro.
I mean,
we're on to bigger and better.
if I was a betting man, I'll bet Chelsea wins the trophy before Arsenal does.
I'm just saying, man. I've seen this
Don't worry
Arsenal
about
before. But anyways, another win, another easy win at home. Robert Sanchez tried to fuck it up, but we held tight today. I told you today's win wasn't even. I didn't even enjoy it. I was like, "Fuck, we gotta sit on the same points as Arsenal." I just wanted them to know that we went to the depths of hell.
On the same points, bro. You guys
And
are still not
we're the
good, bro.
best team in
You guys are
decades.
still not good, bro. We're doing this with mad injuries, bro. Mad
We're
injuries.
doing
I'm
this
not
with
worried about.
Cucurella. Like somebody told me his
you're
name
the
was
one, oh,
Cucurella.
Cucurella shut down soccer. You the one gas Cucurella, and now you're saying,
Mike, you need to.
Cucurella.
That's crazy.
No,
Cucurella.
That's what I was told.
Hold on.
He's so bad. His name is Cucurella. That's what I was told.
You guys are not that good. You guys will fall off, bro. Just like you do every year.
No. But what we saying about
Nah,
Nicholas
hold up.
Jackson?
Time out.
What
Let me-
we saying
let-
about Nicholas Jackson?
Let me ask the Chelsea fans in here something. What's the best win y'all have had this season? And I'm not saying it's like y'all didn't have wins. I'm just saying, what is the best win y'all have had this season? Because I remember that 8-0 on Noah. I mean, it's Noah. I literally don't know this team, but I'm actually very curious about like what's the win this season that you're like, oh yeah, this is because I'm trying to like look through this right now, and I can't tell if y'all just
Right now,
passengers on the
y'all think
ride.
I'm crazy, but the two wins that just hit the spot for me was at Bournemouth and at Wolves. Those have been like the two places we've struggled with, recently. We just couldn't get a win in recent times. So when you ask me that, those are the two places my mind goes to. It just felt good to win at Bournemouth, even though it's Bournemouth. Trust me, it felt like we could never win there anymore. And then the Wolves beating them, what was it, 6-2 or some shit like that? Excuse me, some stuff like that.
No, you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll say this: y'all scored on Liverpool when City couldn't, even though it ended 2-1.
Yeah.
Y'all, yeah, y'all beat Newcastle, which I don't. I mean, y'all beat and lost to Newcastle in the same week. I don't know how that happened.
It's
Tied
One was
the
one
United.
was the Prem, and the other was we saw
it,
like a few days later in like a cup
Yeah,
competition and knocked us off.
that's right.
yeah.
And then y'all did tie up with Arsenal, so it's like
Mhm.
weird because like y'all are winning games. I think honestly, this Aston Villa game. Well, no, because y'all say they've been selling. I haven't been paying attention with Aston
Yeah.
Villa.
But so
Aston Villa.
for me, honestly, it was probably last week at Leicester. Because again, it just showed that it didn't show me what I wanted to show, but it showed that we could be a confident team in hostile territory. And even though, like I said, we didn't end the halves well, we played a good 40 minutes. And this week, I think we were able to put together a good half, like a good first half and a good second half. That the middles were a little weird, but for the most part, I mean, Nicholas Jackson starting off scoring early, that kind of set the tone for us, and it allowed us to kind of play a little bit more free. What I think about this Chelsea team is that when I saw the lineup, I was a little worried because I'm like, okay, so we're starting Neto, we got Sancho in there. What's going on with this? But Maresca's got it figured out, bro. I don't know. And like I said, I'm trusting this manager until he shows me that, he's making decisions that I don't really agree with. But my biggest issue was that we're leaking goals. We got a clean sheet. So I'm already seeing steps in the right direction. Um, Again, I don't know if we've had I don't know if we've had a best match. And honestly, some of our best matches were losses to me. Like the Liverpool and the City match, we played well, we just lost. So for me, I just like where we're at right now.
The two games that stick out to me is that draw against Crystal Palace and that draw against Forest.
Hmm.
Those were two games we were winning. We win those two games, we're only 3 points behind Liverpool. And those games were draws. And those are the only two that stand out to me. Crystal Palace has been horrible this season. We couldn't beat them at home. If we won that game, we're closer. So I don't know, man. I'm confident about this team, man. I like what we're doing.
I
The
think y'all
only the
next
only
big 16
worries
is
is that
Tottenham.
Fofana's out. Fofana's out now for a month. So that's a new injury that we picked up. Badiashiel's been playing well. But hey, I don't know what Badiashiel we're gonna get next week because this guy just chooses when to show up. So far he's playing well. So hopefully he can step in and we don't skip a beat. But Fofana's been playing well, so I don't know. That's my only worry. Rhys James out again. He's gonna be out for what till the new year. One game a week, man. One game a week. Let's set him out. One game a week.
I mean, Mike said this. Mike said this a few weeks
Yeah,
ago. He was like, if you look at our next 10 to 12 matches, they're all favorable.
I
So I
told
mean,
you Villa was the only shaky one. We've
mhm.
gone past that.
And so I'm looking at this December like I need to max win. Like
Yeah,
we might be
maximum
able
points.
maximum points, bro. I'm talking 10 out of 10, 30 points in December, whatever the number is. Because right
Yeah.
around Boxing Day, we start to play, it starts to ramp up. So for me, it's just like Mike said, game by game, week by week. We got a midweek match this week and then the weekend. So maybe that's why we saw some of the rotation, and maybe that's why Maresca's starting some players today and not others. So it's just like I'm looking at everything because I know we're top 4 right now, but I also know how close the table is. Like I said, if you look at Villa in the league, they've drawn 2 and lost 3 in their last 5. And now they're nowhere to be found. So it really is, you drop 2 matches, you drop a match and other teams win. Look at Brighton, bro. They're in the top 4 now. We weren't even talking about Brighton 2 weeks ago.
That's crazy.
So
you're right.
it really is week by week. You have to stay consistent. It's no dropping off this year.
Yeah.
I'll be watching that City. I'll be watching that Chelsea versus Tottenham game on December 8th. That's the one. Because maybe not because I think like it's either side gonna win, but I want to watch to see what this Chelsea has become. So I don't got time to watch every team's game, so I'm gonna definitely watch to see what y'all on right now.
It's interesting about them, bro.
Yeah, we're on. So don't let them tell you different. We're on right now. We have a bad man named Nicholas Jackson. We're on right now.
Right.
Nicholas Jackson built like that. That's interesting.
8 goals and 13, bro.
Yeah, Nicholas Jackson been balling. One thing I would say about Chelsea, though, like I said, I always pick a second team to follow throughout the season. Your manager has been getting it right more now than he's been getting it wrong. He's been making some big roster tweaks. He started off with Sancho, sat him down. Neto was doing his thing. He brought Sancho back into the team. You guys literally fixed your goal leaking issue in one game. Your squad
it was like 2 games, but
yeah, 2 games for the most part, right? Also, you have one of the deepest squads available. So even though you have injuries, you are able to overcome them. And I think the players are buying into his philosophy, which is like, hey, you show up and do your job, you're going to get minutes. So he has created healthy competition in the squad. Because like Enzo was a feature player. Enzo went to the bench. Lavia came in. He liked him.
Thank you.
Enzo came back again. So at the end of
$100 million.
So go let assist today.
Hear me out.
$100
But hear me out.
Go.
What I'm saying is he's proven that he's willing to make the big changes. They've been paying off. And I think a benefit for y'all is coming out of one of those cup competitions, because now you can kind of like hyper focus on what it is you guys really need to do. Now, according to Cornelius, I would say, after Boxing Day, after the 26th of December, then I'll have a really true assessment of your team, because now everybody's playing games like every 3 days or so, or whatever it is. So now we're really going to see exactly, where these teams are in a sense. But like I said, I like what your manager is attempting to do. I like his execution. I like the confidence he's giving certain players. And I also like the ability that when players do come out of the lineup and they come back in, they're able to perform. And they're not like playing scared. They're still able to play free and be themselves. So you can see it's a healthy camp there for the most part in terms of like competition. So we'll see what happens with you guys this season. I think you guys have probably the most like upside out of the teams that were not like top 4 teams last year. Just off of the moves you guys made and the players you guys have.
Yeah, it's like, I've been screaming this since the ownership change. Just identity, bro. Just who is Chelsea as a football club? What do we stand for? What do we look like when we like that's coming back? That's been the biggest thing with this team, man. And I think because they're, for better or worse, not really a lot of Chelsea Academy guys in that locker room. Maresca was able to go in there and just whatever he decided he wanted Chelsea to be, just get all these young guys who don't really know what Chelsea is to buy into whatever his idea of Chelsea to be. So, when Reece James isn't there as your captain, he can't really speak up as to what it is. And then you look across the locker room, it's like none of these guys are really quote unquote Chelsea guys from grassroots. So it's just cool to see him step in and just take charge and be like, look, I told you from day one, I value hard work, and you show me what you can do in training, and I'll put you in spots to succeed. And just like Kerry said, everybody's buying in, bro. I mean, look at Joao Felix. Joao Felix couldn't find the pitch in the Premier League, and now we're starting to see him get more useful and actually more efficient. We're starting to see Neto play well. We're starting to see Sancho, when he gets in, he's starting to play well. Lavia was gone for a month. Now he's back in the Prem. He's starting to play well. And I know Salam was joking, but Lavia's been hurt, bro. He's another one of those guys where you got to take your time with it. Take your time with it. Take your time with it. Because he is another one that's built of paper mache. You go run him 120 minutes one game, you might not see him for another month. So we got to be careful with some of these guys, bro. It's just, it is what it is. And Maresca's like, he's doing it beautifully, bro. He's honestly managing very, very well. I can't get mad at him.
Yeah, the load management is crazy. I mean, you guys have to beat the squad. You guys have the deepest squad though in the Premier League, so I think that'll be your guys' biggest strength going into this busy period. But I think what you guys have done this season has been impressive.
So is 7 GAs in 4 games impressive for $100 million player?
7 GA, and what'd you say? How many
in
games?
4 games? 4 games, 7
4
GAs.
games? I think it's about time, Mike. I just think that it's just about time.
Let's move on to you guys.
This is his second season, right? This is his second season, and it's like we just talked about Jack Grealish, and if he was if he was a success or not, 100 million plus. There's a few players. There is a short list of players that have been bought for 100 million. And quite frankly, he has been one of the worst signings. He has.
Yeah, that's such a hot take. But anyway,
next week I will bring you guys the top 5 most expensive purchases in the Premier League, and we can explore together on what we think. But Kerry,
which Chelsea player are we talking about? Are we talking about? I know the 100 million is Grealish, but what's the other Chelsea player? What, Caicedo?
He's talking about Enzo. Enzo.
No, I'm talking about Enzo.
Oh, he's been scoring goals.
Yeah.
What's going on with Chelsea? I have
Premier League games.
Solo been depressed.
He scored today.
Are we been depressed? They lost 5 in a row. He ain't been keeping up.
We're counting all competitions.
After Tottenham gave him that Wendy's 4 for 4, he been gone.
Yeah, exactly.
I swear if I look, and if it's a game in the Conference League, no,
bro, he's scoring against he's scoring against teams that don't got a logo on Google.
He said 7 GA in 4 games. I was like, doesn't that seem a little odd? That seems a little high. Who is this again? Was this against
Noah? Man, we're playing who's on our schedule.
Yeah, we got to play who's on our. We don't set the schedule so long.
Hey, bro.
I'm playing who's on my schedule.
Anyway, man, Kerry, I'm glad you're here, man. Let's talk. Let's rejoice. Put the word out, Kerry.
Listen, man.
Man United are back.
I won't say we're back, but we're on our way. We're on our way. You know, dude, we're on our way. We're making steps in the right direction. Last time I came on here, I told y'all about my new manager. You know, some of y'all were laughing. You know what I mean? Some of y'all had some jokes. Told you about this Xerxes guy. You know, you guys were like, who? You know, my man link up play, getting goals. Told y'all free Ahmad. Ahmad's been free. You know, and he's been balling. Even got that boy Erasmus Hoyland. You know, I mean, he not backing it up no more. Pause. You know, he's actually like in you know, he's actually in the box, like, you know, scoring goals. You know, he had a good brace the other day. So I'm really impressed with this manager. I like our setup, and just for the short time that he's been here, we are actually playing so much faster as a team. The players know where people are going to be on the field and the general vicinity, and they're passing kind of like without thinking for the most part. They're putting the ball in spaces, and they know players are going to be there to do whatever it is they need to do. He's shown that he's willing to use the full depth of the squad also too. We've seen Luke Shaw appearances. We've seen Harry Maguire appearances. We've seen different lineups in the midfield. Kobe Mainu came in today and had a good game. So I'm really impressed with him as a manager so far. Talk about a clean sheet we had today. Onana is even looking a lot better. I mean, just the whole overall vibe on our team has changed. I would definitely say, and I like how he handles the British media. The British media is shady, and they like to come for him, indirectly, and directly. And he's really been like kind of shutting them up. We're playing a totally different brand of football than we used to play, like historically. But I think like there's still like two more gears we can go this season. I still feel we give away the ball in some bad spots at times. And that will come with players just being comfortable playing in their new positions and also having consistent lineups. But as far as what I saw today, I know it's Everton, but we showed up, we came to play, we handled business. Rashford looks rejuvenated. The manager made 5 substitutions and we didn't drop a beat. We were doing rondos on the field instead of training that we used to have with Eric Ten Hag. So we're moving the ball around. I counted today. There was one sequence we made 12 consecutive passes in a row without losing the ball. So like I said,
look at the joy in his eyes when he said that 12 passes in a row.
I mean, you know me, I'm a possession based guy.
I
mean, I this is not a track meet with me on the field. I really like what I'm seeing so far. He benched Garnacho and Rasmus today, and the team looked a lot better without them on the field at certain points in time.
Xerxes, man. Xerxes.
Yeah, Xerxes, dropping deep in the middle pause and being able to just spray the ball left or right. So I'm just really really happy with how we're playing. And you guys, like I said, y'all laughed at my Xerxes take, and I told you, what I mean, we just need a link man up there and somebody to get the goals, for him to provide. My only one concern is I would say is Bruno. Bruno, I don't know I don't know where his best position with this team is. He tried him in the 10. He played some in the 8 in a game in the past. So I'm not sure how he's going to fit in when Kobe comes back, and he's going to miss the Arsenal game. And I think Martinez is going to miss that game too.
Yeah.
So I'm a little interested to see how he tweaks our team going for that game forward. But 4 goals, clean sheet, a Europa League win, positive goal difference. This man is righting the wrongs of the ball fraud. So I am I am
No, don't
I am
shake your head, Salam. You've
I
been
am
Ten
super
Hag
happy.
forever.
I'm like I said, I'm super happy now. So my team is attempting to get back to the respectable ways that they used to be. We're at 19 points right now, along with like 4 other teams. We're in striking distance of that top 4. We're still in every competition that we're in for the season. So yeah, as a United fan, it's a time to be a little excited here. We've been had our head down for a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to say with chest out, we're coming. Pause.
You're about to get humbled in a couple of days.
Once again, like we have 2 key players that are going to be out. The manager has only been here for less than 5 games, and we've seen such an improvement. Ateta has been there for how long? 6 years now, and you still ain't got no trophies.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I'm just saying.
My manager has won more trophies than your manager has won in his whole career in terms of coaching. He won them over there, and right now we're both sitting on the same amount of trophies. 0. And you guys are 6 years into your project, and my man is not even a month into his. So
you will see y'all.
See, I see where the spiciness is coming from. Arsenal United coming up.
Oh, chance for Arsenal to draw points.
Wednesday.
The dark arts will be in effect.
Oh, the dark arts are always in effect. You know what I mean in that game. But like I said, I'm really excited about what he's done thus far. I'm trying to balance, the lows with the highs. We were leaking goals in the first couple of games he was here. This is a good, solid, clean sheet, solid amount of goals. We're moving in the right direction, and you can see the players are just like they just look happier, man, on the field. You know, Casemiro's smiling, you know what I mean, and everything now, and they just look like they're enjoying their football, and everybody's they're on the same page. You can tell we have pattern of play in certain spots of the field, so like we have a true identity for once in a long time. So, like I said, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to see what else he has for us, and hopefully we can get some more players in the January window to help like strengthen our team.
Mhm. That was a great
Uh,
analysis, Gary. Um, you know, today I feel rejuvenated. I think that was a word that you used. Really, I mean, I think the biggest obvious change is just like the way that we're playing. The players seem to be a little bit more confident, have seem to have a little bit more belief in what we're trying to do. Um, so, I mean, I think you said it. I think that the people that I would really like to highlight, and Cornelia said this, I believe last week in regards to Chelsea, but you can kind of already see like the players that are in his core group. So for me, I think those players are Onana. I believe he hasn't played every game that he's been here, but which credit to the manager's squad rotation. But I think Delit is in there. Um, I think for the time being, Casemiro is in there. Just until I think Kobe Manu could come back. Um, Ahmad certainly is in there.
And
Um,
playable at this point.
yeah, which is it's criminal that he wasn't even really given the opportunity that he
yeah.
deserved. But I'm glad that he's getting it now and he's really getting to showcase what he can do. And he's
That
doing it
fraud.
from yeah, he's doing it from a position that I mean, uh, not that I didn't think that he could do well there, but I don't know, man. Um, I'm really, really hoping to see him a little bit closer to goal. I would love to see him behind the striker because I think in the attacking third, he really kind of helps us click, and he's easily our most creative player. I've said all season that he's been our best player. I mean, to be honest with you, all three of our African guys have been our really good players. You said it. Mazraoui has been the signing of the season.
Signing of the
Ahmad,
season.
yeah, Ahmad has been incredible every time that he's been on the pitch. Onana deserves a lot of credit from the improvements that he's shown from last year to this season. So I think we're in a really good place, man. I think, like you said, Rashford looks rejuvenated. Bruno, you know, my opinion, I think his best position is going to be as an eight. I know that there's a little bit of a concern for him defensively because even in this game and in the last game, he was kind of not picking up the people he was supposed to defensively, which led for other opportunities for the other team. But to your point, Carrie, about the possession, I think you saw that combination of Mazarari, Ahmad, Xerxes, Kobe. We got this is the first time in a while that we've had, more than one or two possession based players, guys that, can keep the ball and can retain the ball. So naturally, when you have the ball more, good things are going to happen and you're going to create more chances. So, um, yeah, it's crazy how quickly football changes. But, all of a sudden I look at this team. And again, I know it was a 4-0 win at home at Old Trafford. But, I really feel like, our season is really about to start now. And I think from now until the end of the season, if we can continue what we've been seeing so far, I think we have a strong shot of being very competitive.
You still think you finish above Chelsea?
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
I don't know.
we'll
Like
revisit this every month.
I, I would say this. Like I said, my goal for this season is to finish top four. And if we
Mhm.
don't finish top four, we have to win the Europa League. Those are
I
my
think
that's my benchmark for the season. You know, we have to get in there. I think with this manager, we have a really good chance because we're just creating chances. You know, in the right spaces in the box. You know, we're getting shots off. We're doing so many things in these last few games that he's been here that we didn't under the last regime.
yeah,
And shout out to Rude. I know he's at Leicester right now, but I feel like he kind of sparked some of this after Ten Hag left. The players were
Yeah.
he said go out there and be just free and go play. And he started that streak we have on winning games. So I have to give him some credit for that. Even though he picks some of the same players, but you can look and see they still played slightly different. They didn't look restricted. And now the manager, I think now you can see he has a structured build up, but in the attacking third, he's like, hey, go do your thing. Cause we seen Ahmad in the attacking third. He's just taking people on. Like today, he sent three players,
Yeah.
going one way, and he should have got a penalty, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Like I said, he's just allowing the players to be who they are and express their best qualities in the right places in the pitch. So that, by me seeing that, I just know he knows what he's doing as a manager, and just in that short space of time, with some of those players, and look at the combination of players we had today. This was the first time we saw Mainu together with Mazwari together with
yeah,
Xerxes. So he's also on the job training with players and becoming
Mhm.
successful with it. So you can tell that he's learning from his previous mistakes in other games. And the time he's seeing players in training, he's identifying the type of talent that these players have and be able to make a cohesive unit. And the players are
Mhm.
buying into it. We don't see Bruno crying and complaining to the referee as much anymore, just in this short space of time.
He
You
went
know,
over there and gave him that Portuguese tough love. Like, hey, bro,
yeah,
relax.
like this
None of
is not
that.
it. You know what I mean? Like, look here,
You're the
Mr.
captain,
Fernand.
bro.
You know
Yeah,
what I
you
mean?
can't be
You
doing
have
that.
to lead, so and even like sometimes I watch like I'll go online and I watch fans' view of the game to just get a different angle to see what
Mhm.
what I'm not
Mhm.
seeing on the TV. If you look at some of the aerial views, like we don't have that big gap anymore that we used to have. There's not that 30-yard gap that Cass had to cover. In defensive rotation, the rotations are very simple on this team. It's like, hey, when we don't have it, come back in, be compact, let's win it, progress the ball up to wherever our overload is going to be. Mostly is on Ahmad's side of the field, we're overloading. Dalot's side, we're looking to like either whip across and or play it into the center of the park a little bit more. So, like I said, I can clearly see what this man is trying to do.
yeah.
Versus
I
the
got, I
old
got,
regime, I had no clue what he was doing.
I got a question.
Sure.
What we doing with this man here?
So listen,
I'm very
I
curious because I
so
didn't think he was
the,
untalented. I just didn't know what he was up to.
So the cameo he the game he played in, he actually did not do bad. Remember I
Yeah.
told you
Right,
the
right
issue
wing back,
yeah,
right wing back.
the issue with Anthony is it's like you have to realize the type of player he is. From a footballing standpoint, this man is techie. Don't get
He
it
is.
twisted. You
He
know,
is.
but techie players like him who don't run past players look for players to link with. So
Mhm.
now, if you put him on the field with players that link, now he can get a 1-2 and get past a player and get into spots where he can be dangerous. So I think he's going to be a part of our team going on later in this season. Like once we
Mhm.
start getting other guys healthy back, like when Euro come back in and you can integrate him into the team, it's going to push somebody out of that back line. We might see Ahmad now going to one of those 10 roles where he gets higher up the field. And this,
Let's do it.
gives room for a player like Anthony. So when we want to be more attacking, you can
Anthony.
take a you could take a player like Delo off, and put Anthony on that side of the field, and now you have two more attacking winger type players who can combine with Xerxes, can combine with Cass, can combine with Kobe Manu,
I
combine
mean,
with Ahmad.
He's a
he
role
puts
You
player.
wingers there.
you know,
He puts.
so
Yeah,
so
So
now,
yeah,
yeah. So like I said, I trust the manager, to get a tune out of him at some point in time on the field, because I think he understands what the player's strengths and weaknesses are, um, in conjunction with how he wants to play. So, like I said, I just a little time I saw him on the field, I was like, you know what, this is actually going to work for him. You have two link players next to him. He wants to combine. He's not a dribble past you type player anymore. I mean, he did that in the Eredivisie. He was a walking highlight. But in the Prem, everyone has pace. So
Mhm.
he's less likely to do that. So now how he gets past players is going to be 1-2s. Give and goes. Or like interchanging position. So I think he's going to be all right. The player that I am worried about is Garnacho. I don't think I think out of all the wing type players we have, he's the least skillful out of them all. He's a hard working player, but in the parts of the field where you're going to put him, I don't think hard working really suit. He doesn't combine well with other players. His passing is subpar, in my opinion. He don't got a left foot. I just don't I just don't understand how you at this level can't make a left-footed pass. I just don't get it.
Where does Mason Mount fall within all this?
So I think Mount is going to have to be one of those guys that come off the bench,
Thank you.
and he's going to have to come off the bench, and it just depends
Thank
on
you.
what.
You mean, thank you?
Y'all were
depends
making it
on-
seem like Mount has the biggest to gain from this. Mount will fill it in perfectly with this
He does.
system.
No,
But I don't think that Mount is the player y'all think he is, though. I really don't.
This is what this
Tell
is
him.
why Mount's greatest attribute is being a runner, and he makes good decisions when he has the ball, in a sense like he's not gonna just lose. He's not
I
gonna
agree. I
lose the
agree.
ball
Yeah,
randomly in the final third. He's not. He's
Yeah.
not that. He's not gonna spam a pass like Bruno would. He's not that type of guy. So I could see Mount, hey, we're up 2-0, and you just need to rotate just to keep the intensity up. Throw him in one of those 10s, and you say, hey, you know what, Mount, we just really need you to just move the ball side to side. Don't lose possession. And if it comes to you in a spot, have a shot. Get a goal. I think you simplify the game for him, and then you can kind of see how much more of a role you can give him in the team. He's
I
not
agree.
he's not a useless player to me. I mean, he
I
hasn't.
agree. He's definitely not useless. I just want to. It just seems like from not necessarily in here, but Salam did say, as he did tag along, and I've been seeing this online, that Mount's going to be this new revitalized, or what would y'all say, rejuvenated player now that Amorim's here. And I'm like,
No. I don't.
but
I
he
don't.
is.
See,
I think based off of his player profile, he has the skill set to thrive in this system.
I do
I
think
think
he
More
the
does.
so,
system.
I just
The
don't think
more
he's
system.
going to be I just don't think he'll be a feature player. You know what I mean? He's not going to
Okay.
be.
Okay.
I don't think
He's
he'll
not
be
going
a
to.
feature player.
I don't think he'll be
mean,
a starter in this team unless a certain amount of players are injured. You know what I mean? But is there a role for Mason Mount in this team? Absolutely, there's a role for him, but it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be a major one. Like I said, all the frauds will be exposed in this system. You know, and we've already started seeing little by little player deficiencies coming forward. So I'm happy with my manager so thus far. I think we have a ways to go. I'm not going to say United is back. I cannot say that. All I'm saying is we're underway. We're underway.
All right.
fuck it, I will.
Let's see.
We're back. Let's get it.
My thing with United, I just need to see consistency. I've seen that the
You
new
talking
coach
about
bounce back.
consistency?
Listen, man. Oh, yeah, I am talking about consistency because my thing is I still remember because I got caught up in the Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer hype. Not caught up as in I was like, oh my God, he's amazing. But I was like, dang, that is a great start. He had a great start.
Yeah.
To y'all time there.
Fooled everyone.
Yeah, he's like,
But look at the players he had though. I mean, Ollie's
Yeah,
talent
Ollie was
being
blessed.
Ollie was blessed with. He had Matic, he
Yeah.
had Pogba, he had
Yeah.
Bruno
Ibrahimovic,
that was
all
on
the rest. All the rest of the guys.
look at the type of
That's
like I said, look at the football and base talent that he had. He didn't really have to coach. It's like, hey, give him a formation and go kind of do your thing. He had players that can get him out of tight spaces. That had decent amount of tech. I mean, Pogba is one of the techiest players we've seen out here. I mean, he's he's oozing with talent.
That's
So-
midfielder of this generation.
Look,
So-
I I texted this in the group earlier, and we can end it here or whatever. But this is Salam's cycle whenever it comes to new managers. Step one, it's a new manager. This player has to start, but he's shit. Step two, yeah, that player's doing well, but that's
I
only
don't
because
say
the
that.
new manager set him up. Yada yada yada.
I don't
Step
say
three,
that. Go ahead.
well, the ownership's now handcuffing the manager. He can't do what he wants. He can't get his players. Step four, the players aren't buying in. It's the culture. They aren't getting it. Now the players are complaining. Step five, the new manager is shit. And so we go get a new manager and the cycle continues. I actually am rooting for this guy Amorim because he actually looks like he knows what he's doing. But it's only a matter of time before United fans start to unite it again. So I'm just waiting.
No,
I think
man.
it'll be a solid year and a half before
Everything that
y'all
you
start
said was a fact, though. Okay, the fact is that we've had managers in here. I mean, like your favorite manager ever has literally been in front of a camera like we are on right now and said, "I wanted Koulibaly, and I got Victor Lindelof." No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I wanted Virgil van Dijk. I got Victor Lindelof. Yeah. So let's not. I wanted this player. I ended up with Lukaku. Now we're here on Lukaku. Yeah,
I'm just saying the cycle, bro. The cycle. We'll get back here. We'll get back to step 5 in a little
No,
bit.
bro, this is different.
Just give us some time.
I mean, let's be real though. Let's be real. With the new ownership, this is. I'm telling you, this is Ineos's guy, man. They're gonna back this guy, and I believe that they're gonna do what they need to do to get us back to where we need to be. But obviously, with the previous ownership, we weren't getting anywhere. Come on, everybody knows this. This
It's
isn't
going to
just
take time. You
We'll
know,
see. We'll see,
let
man.
it cook.
This is not a crazy conspiracy theory, but let's get into shout outs, crash outs, predictions. Let's do predictions first, man. I'll start, honestly. We see Asna.
Disrespect is
Who'd you guys see
crazy.
midweek? Who'd you guys see midweek?
We see
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
man.
Oh yeah, Wednesday. Is it
We see
Wednesday?
Arsenal.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's our next game.
What if I told you it was favorable?
That's your favorite
Anytime he
phrase.
says that, it's dangerous.
Nah, I have a good feeling about this game. I think when you look at this game today too, all of our players got subbed off.
Mhm.
And essentially Bruno when was the last time Bruno has ever gotten subbed off before the 65th
In their
minute?
win, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I think we're in a good spot. I just feel like it's very unpredictable us right now. If we were with Ten Hag, obviously
So,
Arsenal,
what is the prediction, bro? All this jibber jabber, bro.
this is a part of it.
Talk
What is
about
your
it's
prediction
we're
for the midweek,
unpredictable.
man?
We're unpredictable, but it's favorable, man. Make up your
Like, well,
mind.
yeah. What are you like? What are you
This
saying?
Mind.
prediction's
Make up your
unpredictable.
What do
mind.
you predict
Hey.
the score to be tomorrow? Or
We
when?
gotta fill up a minute, okay? So I don't know. We can just sit here in silence, but I gotta fill up a minute. So fucking damn, Cornelius, you shit. Yeah, Arsenal versus Man United.
You said it was favorable, but then you're like,
It is
it's so
favorable.
predictable.
Yeah,
It
but
is favorable.
that's so crazy to say in the same
Unpredictable.
sentence.
It's okay to be wrong, man.
I say
kind of line
I
himself up.
I say 1-1. I see a low scoring game. Preview my lock of the week.
Yeah,
I know we
that's
didn't put out locks of the week this week. I know we didn't put out locks of the week this week, but I did send Gabriel. Gabriel can attest to this too. I sent him Chelsea versus Aston Villa under 3.5 goals. That hit, so I am undefeated on the
Mine
season.
hit too. Chelsea money line.
Yeah, I think you guys are like minus 200, but okay. But yeah, I'd say 1-1. I think it'll be a low scoring game, and I think we'll share a point.
All right.
Who do you see?
How about you?
Carry.
Oh, so I got to give a caveat with this a little bit, but I'll give my prediction. No Kobe Mainu, no Martinez for this game. So now we're going to play a totally different lineup off of this momentum that we just had. Arsenal is they are leaking goals. I'm gonna go out here on a limb, man. I'm going 2-1 United, man. I'm going 2-1 United in this game. Because I feel like Arsenal is gonna score, but I feel like right now under this new manager bounce, I feel like my team is gonna get up for this game because now we have players competing for positions, so they're gonna show up. So I'm gonna say 2-1 to my team.
What you think?
I mean, yeah, we see you guys. I think we win 3-1.
Wow.
I don't know. I think we win 3-1.
Love
I
it.
think
Love
we're
it.
firing. I
Cut
don't
the
know.
cap.
I think we'll be up for this match, given the circumstances and given that we've been on this good run. So I think we'll score a lot. We'll definitely concede, but I don't expect to concede too much this match. And it's home, so I definitely feel confident going away. And I know they're going to put on a good performance for the home fans because they've been away from them for some time. So yeah, no, I think we win 3-1, and then we see Fulham over the weekend on Sunday. I think we win 2-0 there. So
You still have 30 seconds. Would you like to fill your time? So I'm saying we all got a minute now, I guess. So
Hold on.
Yeah, I mean you can feel it. I'm telling you, bro. Yeah. This is a part of your minute, Gabriel. So I just you can blame Cornelius. So
but no, I truly think we're on a good streak, and it was funny that you said this earlier, Mike, that Chelsea has a run of games that are favorable. Like if we beat United, when we beat United on Wednesday, and then when we beat Fulham
Confident,
as well that week, that can really propel us because our next run of games are favorable. We play some teams that we should definitely win. So I'm looking forward to this because I think this is really kickstart a good win streak for us. So
That's great. We see Southampton on Wednesday. I expect it to actually be a tight game. I don't know what's been going on at St. Mary's, but lately nobody goes there, and just comes out scot-free these days. I don't know what's going on there, but I hope I think the game is going to be tight, but we're going to win. No doubt about that. I'll say a 2-0 win at Southampton. And we're gonna come back Tottenham. I'll say 3-1. We beat Tottenham next Sunday.
Is it at Spurs?
I think they come to us.
No, it's at Spurs.
Yeah. It's at Spurs. We'll be fine.
Honestly, I agree with Mike on the Southampton side, but that Spurs game is going to be like a 3-2, one of those like 3-2, 4-2. Whenever we play Spurs, there are going to be goals. Like it's just always goals involved. So I still think we'll beat Spurs, but I think it'll be very high scoring.
So who do y'all play? Is it even worth talking about you guys?
Honestly, I'll say this. Let me get my minute. I'll say I'll Josh. But we're playing against Nottingham Forest. It's a must-win game, really.
No, that's the real trap game for real. Is it at Forest?
We are
lucky.
We've been in some it's a trap game, but it's a must-win game. I'm hoping that we get I'll say a 2-1. Escape out of
Is
that.
it home or away? Is it home or away for you guys?
Etihad. What's up with that heavy side? Why the heavy?
It's at the Etihad. It's at the Etihad.
But that he had. So okay, I'll say 2-0. I just want us to keep a clean sheet.
Very humble.
I think Stay humble, eh? I think I just really want to see us get a clean sheet. I'm really actually happy that Diaz is back, Ruben Diaz, because we've been missing him in his defensive show out. I mean, we still could see the goals, but he'll get in his form. My shout out is, I will say, I'll give my shout out to I'll give my shout out to my man Pat for reminding people who we are. No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
that's a crash out and a shout out because I like seeing this.
He was my crash out of the week for sure.
Yeah, I like seeing this, but it may be a crash out. I see it, but I like seeing this because, like, yeah, man, we just keep it pushing.
No, he's not even. He didn't even crash out because of what he did today. It was midweek for me.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that's fucking wild. But I mean,
I want to harm myself. I was
Insane.
Bro, I was like,
we do not.
When I saw that, I was like, you really said that.
Yes, we do not condone any type of harm to yourself or anybody else. I just, like, obviously it's a cultural difference. Like, he thought he was trying to be funny. The way he said it and the way he walked off was just like, bro, you cannot do that. Yeah. I'm sure that someone probably talked to him and he was like,
bro, that statement came out so fast after that because I was like, ain't no way he just said, bro. I think I texted y'all. I was like, did he for real just say that on live TV?
He realized,
and then just ended it and then walked up with that like Joker smile. I was like, nah.
I think it said, "Why so serious?" But yeah, man.
Crash out and shout out, but yeah, actually no shout out on Cedar City. I would say just shout out for like who is it called? Liverpool. They've been great. I can't be mad at how they playing. They're just doing good. Shout out to them. Shout out to Arnie Slot.
Jared Brathwaite, man, get well. Nah, if anyone else doesn't have any shout outs, we can conclude and get out of here, man.
Shout out is Enzo Fernandez.
Oh, good one, Mike.
Good, black man.
Shout out to my team on just the positivity, the brothers and them doing their thing, the cats who were forgotten, who showing people that they really can ball, So that's my shout out. And shout out to Eric Ten Hag for being invisible.
I wonder if Donnie would succeed in this.
Donnie didn't get to see this through, man. He didn't get the chance he deserved, Donnie.
My shout out is Saka, always GA.
Saga.
Mr. GA.
Saga.
And then Odegaard for sure too, just for coming back. Good to have the captain back. So yeah, man. Shout out to them boys.
Yeah, man. Crash out obviously is Pep. Shout out. I just want to shout out my 3 African guys, man. Onana, Mazrari, Ahmad. So nothing but continued blessings to all 3 of you. And hopefully you can spread that to everybody else.
Tried to tell y'all, man. Shout out my boy Nico Jackson. Told y'all last year, there's a player there. Don't let him get the right manager.
Best striker in the league.
He done clicked up with the right one, man. Shout out Maresca. Shout out Nico.
Mike,
just wait.
When are you guys gonna come over? I'm trying to tell you, best striker in the league. And you don't even know.
I gotta see the consistency first, bro.
We're getting there.
I'm not just doing 13 games. Y'all be ready to put labels best in the Prem like after 10. Come on, man. We got to see the consistency.
He's gonna have another 5-game dry spell. But
we got to see the consistency. And that's my thing. Sorry, Mike. And that's my thing. I want to see how he performs when he's not scoring. Because as a striker, when you're not scoring, you still have to be productive. You still have to be efficient on the pitch. So that's what's going to show me. Like, can he get assists? Can he still be in the mix? That's what's going to show me. But I agree. He's very, very good. He's showing that he's hitting the next level.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
appreciate everybody for tuning in. For your guys' continued support. Everybody who's been following us. I actually had a conversation with my parents-in-law about our episode about Marta. So it was nice
That's
talking
what's
to
up.
them about that. They tuned in, so
What
shout
did
out
they
to them.
say?
I mean, they were just like, essentially, I just kind of elaborated a little bit more on a few questions they had on a few of the topics that we had. So I told them a little bit about Marta, how she was one of the icons in the game. We also talked about how the opposing keeper, Aubrey Kingsbury, was from Kingshammer. That was where I coached at. And then, yeah, Amorim. Or Solo, how did you say his name?
Amorim.
Yeah.
Ruben Amorim.
Amorim. But yeah, man, shout out to everyone who's been supporting us, man. It really does mean a lot. But until next week, good luck to you in your future endeavors.